Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Cyberpunk 2077. My name is Camel, and today I'm going to show you how to acquire a complete set of absolutely free legendary Corpo armor or clothing, depends what you want to call it. Now you can get all of this right at the start of Act 2, which you can, get to in the first few hours of gameplay if you so choose to follow the main missions. All you'll need to do is make sure that you've finished the mission called the Heist. After which, all of the map will be opened up to you so that you can get to the places you'll need to get this free legendary Corpo armor set. Now, there is also one other requirement for one of the items in the set, but I'll explain that thoroughly when we get to it. Now, this armor is perfect for your lean, mean Corpo machine playthrough. You'll be looking sleek while crushing the weak. Now, if you are into this kind of stuff, you can check out my other Cyberpunk 2077 videos via the playlist link down in the description, through which you can find my other videos where I show you how to get other sets of free legendary armor in Cyberpunk 2077. And while you're down there, you can be sure to check out my social media links as well. Now, we will be taking a look at this free legendary Corpo armor set on both female V and male V, as each item looks completely different depending on whether your character is female or male. So naturally, of course, I'll show you both. With that said, let's get out there and collecting these pieces. And we'll also be picking them up in the most linear fashion that I can think of, so that you have to travel as little as possible while getting these free legendary Corpo pieces. So firstly, we'll be getting our hands, or in this case, I guess legs, on the legendary breathable reinforced bio-cotton corporate slacks. For these, we'll need to come to the top of Watson, to the offshore street fast travel point, right here on the map. Now, you don't need to come here specifically, as there's a giant drive we need to do anyway, but it's just the closest fast travel point. So from here, we need to take the road to the northwest, which will lead us all the way to the ocean. You can walk or run if you want, but I'm choosing to drive because it's way faster. Once you hit the ocean in this mad corner, turn to the right like a wild man, and then follow this road into the kind of scrubland area. Now, on the left here, we will see there is a short concrete building with a fence around it. We need to drive through the opening in that fence to this car park area where we'll see there has been a shootout. And on one of the dead bodies is a legendary item. This is what we are here for. Now, I'll explain this once. Before we look at the legendary item on the body, save the game. The reason for this is that when you look at an item on a body, it will generate random stats. A random armor amount, it'll have random mod slots, and it will have random mods in those mod slots. Now, the most mod slots that a pair of pants can have is 3. So this one only had 2, so I'm going to load the save that I just made, and then I can look at the item again and it will have different stats, different armor amount, and different mod slots and different mods in them. So I'm going to keep on doing this until I get a pair of these pants with the maximum mod slots, which again is 3 for a pair of pants. Of course, you don't have to do this, but it is a guaranteed way to get the best possible version of any item in a few minutes. So as we can see, I've now loaded that save file until I got a pair of breathable reinforced bio-cotton corporate slacks with 3 mod slots, which is exactly what I want and what you'll want too. Now, it is specifically located right where my character's standing on the map now. As we can see, it's up here. It's just to the west of that little circular building that you're seeing on the map there now. Now, for this particular character, mine had an armor rating of 64.1 and 3 mod slots, which again is the max mod slots for a pair of legs. The first mod increases armor by 9.254, which just quickly, I find these super specific armor amounts so ridiculous. Just say 9. It's just 9 armor. Anyway, the second one reduces fall damage by 8%, and the third one increases movement speed by 10. Fantastic. Look at those nice round numbers. So we'll be looking at female V first because, come on gents, ladies come first. Except for all the times they don't, but in this video, they do. So the legendary breathable reinforced bio-cotton corporate slacks look pretty slick. Now, as a super manly man like myself, I'm not too familiar with women's fashion, so I don't know what kind of pants you would actually call these. Dress pants, perhaps? They look kind of form-fitting, like they're made out of some kind of slightly stretchy material. With some exceptions, as on the inside of the bottom half of each leg, there is a cutout that has been replaced with a different type of material, and the pockets on the outside of the upper leg are made of a material that actually matches the jacket, which we'll have a good look at later, as there's many interesting things on that. So that's interesting and cool, and it's cool that it works with the whole set. And yes, from behind it does hold the posterior section rather well, as all suit pants should. You gotta take care of business out the back, you know? Now, if you do find yourself with no shirt on, with these pants on your female V, you will see there is, I don't know if it's a belt or if it's actually part of the pants, but there it is. Thin at the front, high on the sides, gotta protect those hips. Overall, nice pair of pants. Now on male V, they look like this. A bit less form-fitting, and they're a pretty standard fit for what I would call suit pants. They kind of gather at the bottom on the shoe. Interestingly, they seem to be made out of a material that reminds me of hessian, like a hessian sack, like a potato sack. A very coarse looking material, which does actually differ from the material that V's pants pockets were made out of. They might look similar, but they are actually different. But overall, a nice pair of slick slacks. Next up, we will be getting our hands on the legendary corporate blazer with bulletproof lining. For these, we'll be traveling from where we already are, as it's much closer than any fast travel points. Of course, we are located right here on the map where we found the legendary breathable reinforced biocotton corporate slacks that we just looked at. So from this location, we want to leave the car park and take the road back to the main road, and then follow this road and head towards those big chimney stacks. It's like a power plant or something. Now you want to punch it all the way to the end, and before you hit the wall, fang a huge left and then follow the road a little bit more, and then on our right we will see 3 X's in a pink purple neon and a sign that says barely illegal, which I thought said barely legal, and then I thought about it, and barely illegal is worse. Anyway, there will be a burning car here, and in front or next to it there is a dead body with a knife in its chest and a legendary item on it. Of course, save the game and then look at the legendary item, which will be the corporate blazer with bulletproof lining. As you can see, I saved and reloaded enough times until I got it with 4 mod slots, which is the maximum mod slots that you can get on an outer torso piece. So keep loading until you get one with 4 as well. Now this is found exactly or specifically right on the map where my V is standing right now. As we can see, there are these 2 circular buildings, which would be those giant power plant chimney stacks, and then this is found just to the north of the most northern chimney stack. Now for this particular character, my corporate blazer with bulletproof lining had an armor rating of 114.6 and 4 mod slots, 3 of which were filled. The first mod reduces damage from explosions by 5%, the second one increases armor by 5.803, the third one reduces damage from negative status effects by 5%, and the 4th mod slot is empty. Again, of course, we'll be looking at female V first, same with the rest of this video, so I won't say it again. Now, this blazer on female V has a lot going on. I mean, it looks good on male V too, as you'll see in a second, but there's a lot of weird little details on the female V version of this. So at face value, looks cool, looks futuristic, and it is made from a material that matches the outer top leg pockets on the pants that we saw a minute ago. Now, where to start with this? Let's start with the chest, or more the shoulders. There is this strange cutout once it hits the breasts, and then it's cut very low, just above the breasts. But then it has been filled in with some odd choices, I guess. I mean, it looks cool, it's just weird. The whole collar area, I'm not even too sure what's happening there. It looks complicated, and it completely replaces the collar on the actual shirt that we'll be seeing in a minute. So what we're wearing under this is completely overridden by a shirt that comes with the blazer, the outer torso piece. Now just below the shoulder on the outside of the upper sleeve, there is this weird like metallic raised section that's stitched into the cloth. I'm not too sure what that's for. There's a similar metallic section just about on the collarbone at the front, and for whatever reason on the back there are these strange little indents and little matte black strips that make up some kind of like very simplified and magnified microchip kind of pattern. Again, not too sure what they're doing there, but they look kind of cool and suit the whole futuristic corporate vibe. Now, interestingly, the pocket flaps on the waist have actually been stitched with like an electric blue stitching, which is odd because this color appears nowhere else in the set at all. So that's an odd choice for a color accent, especially when you consider that it's seemingly random and matches nothing else in the set. Now the buttons on the cuff are actually branded with Arasaka logos. So I guess this corporate suit's an Arasaka suit? And very curiously, on the left arm towards the wrist on the forearm, there is 4 buttons, and then up a little bit, there is also a little screen built into the jacket, like something the Predator or the Mandalorian would have on their arm. Very Star Wars vibe. And interestingly, on the right arm in the same place, there is 3 buttons with no screen. So overall, cool jacket, cool design, a lot of tiny, strange details, but altogether, looks good. Now on male V, it looks like this, more of a traditional, I don't know, tuxedo kind of look. So it does look less futuristic, there's no weird patterns on the back or buttons in the arm or screens on the arm, but it does look smart and it does look cool, which I guess is the point of the Corpo. Now on the cuffs of the jacket, we have 3 silver and I assume onyx cufflinks holding it together, and on the left breast pocket, we have a pocket square, which appears to be black and gold with some kind of Art Deco pattern. Now on male V, unlike on female V, what you're wearing under the blazer will actually show through. So what you're seeing under the blazer here is actually what this V is wearing, and it's not being overridden like on female V. So much like on female V, this piece is hot. It's an absolute blazer. Next up, we'll be getting our hands on the legendary Carbonweave silk corporate shirt. For this, we'll need to come to the center of the city center area, to the Halsey and MLK fast travel point right here on the map. Now, once at the fast travel point, you want to jump over the edge and then down onto like the underpass under the area we were just standing on. Then make your way to the big intersection under the bridge. And yes, I understand this might be kind of confusing, but this is a very dense area and it is confusing, sadly. But don't worry, I'm going to show you where it is and a different fast travel point you can also get here from if this is a bit too confusing for you. Anyway, we need to keep running down the road until we're basically underneath that huge building that acts as a bridge, as you can see up there. Once we get here, turn to the right, and on our right, there will be a club called 7th Hell. Now when we get to 7th Hell, we need to stand out the front and face it, then turn around 180 degrees, where we will see a police car on the other side of the road. Behind the police car, there is a small construction site with a huge black bit of scaffolding, or more scaffolding covered in a black cloth. Now we need to go behind this scaffolding, where on the ground we can find a dead body, and on that dead body is a legendary item. Now of course, save the game and keep re-rolling until, much like me, you get a Carbonweave silk corporate shirt with 4 mod slots. 4 mod slots is the maximum mod slots that an inner torso piece can have. Now, on the map, it is found exactly where my V is standing. As we can see, there's the fast travel point we came from, and then we came this way. Now, if that path is a bit too confusing for you, or weird, or you get lost or whatever, an easier way to do this is to come to this fast travel point, the Corporation Street or Corporation Station fast travel point. Now, while this is easier, it is a longer journey. That's why I went with the other one, but you can come to this one and just follow the road all the way east until you hit 7th Hell. There's no twists or turns or jumps or whatever. So for this particular playthrough, I got a Carbonweave silk corporate shirt with 4 mod slots. The first one reduces damage from explosions by 5%, the second one increases evasion by 0.2, and the third one reduces stamina consumption when blocking melee attacks by 5%. The fourth one is empty and I can put whatever I want into it. Along with the others, of course, I just don't have to override anything. Now, on female V, it looks like this, and it actually looks the same on male V. This is the one piece that looks the same on both sexes. Now, while it does look smart and it does suit the whole corpo look, in my life experience, whenever I see a woman in a vest and tie, I instantly think of hospitality. And there's nothing wrong with that, but when it comes to this Corpo set, When I see this, I think, oh, my drink's here, and not, oh, this person owns a corporation. Luckily, this will get covered up when you wear the jacket too, which I think looks much sleeker and smarter. Again, nothing wrong with a woman in a vest and tie, just my experience of my whole life is always hospitality in vests and ties. So instantly, that's the thoughts that are conjured when I see this. Oh, better leave a tip, and not, oh, I'm about to be fired. So let's take a look at it on male V. So the vest is made of the same material that the pants are made out of on male V, but different to the pants material on female V. Now at the top of the breast on the vest, there are two little cutouts, much like the jacket on female V. Just kind of weird. Now on the back, there is a buckle and some straps to tighten it to fit your form. Now the white shirt underneath, it's a pretty standard white dress shirt. The cuffs are held together with one long rectangular, again I'm assuming silver and onyx cufflink, which actually completely matches the three long rectangular silver and again I'm assuming onyx buttons on the front of the vest. And when it comes to this piece, that's about all there is to it. That's the vest it's got. Next, we will be getting our hands on the free legendary ergonomic reinforced corporate pumps for female V, and on male V, they are called the ergonomic reinforced corporate evening shoes. Now these actually have some prerequisites, as I mentioned at the start of the video. We'll need to have finished the 3 main missions called Ghost Town, Lightning Breaks, and Life During Wartime. These are the first 3 missions that we get with Pan Am, which you can get into within the first few hours of gameplay, again if you follow the main missions. These 3 missions are back to back and you'll likely finish them all in one sitting, not even realizing it was 3 separate quests. Now after completing these and after reaching a street cred level of 9, you'll receive a phone call from Elizabeth Perez, who will give us a mission called I Fought the Law. Now if you don't remember this phone call, you either don't meet the requirements, or you can go into your side jobs log and you should find I Fought the Law. It's probably one of those phone calls you got and just completely ignored it because you get a phone call every 30 seconds. Now, during this mission, I Fought the Law, we will be sent to a warehouse filled with animal gang members. Now, once we finish the mission, I Fought the Law, we'll actually need to head back to the very warehouse which we visited during that mission. For this, we'll need to come back down to the southeastern corner of Westbrook, to the San Amaro Street fast travel point, right here on the map. Now once we get here, we need to drive towards that factory or warehouse that we went to during the mission, and we need to get around the back, so you can go to the left or you can go to the right. Either way, just make sure you get around the back of the building. Now once we get back here, we will notice that there is some broken flaming cars and a bunch of dead bodies. Again, another shootout. Now on one of the dead bodies is a legendary item. Of course, save the game and keep reloading until you get the ergonomic reinforced corporate pumps or ergonomic reinforced corporate evening shoes with 3 mod slots, as 3 mod slots is the maximum mod slots that a pair of shoes or feet slot items can have in Cyberpunk 2077. Now just so you know, if you come here before finishing those missions that I told you about, it will look like this. There will be no cars, there will be no dead body, and no legendary item. So you do need to finish those missions for those vans and bodies, and of course the legendary to spawn. But of course you know exactly what to do, so you will have the legendary item. Now on the map, it can be found exactly where my V is standing. We can see the fast travel points there, the warehouse is right there, and we're just behind it in the parking lot. Now for this particular character, my ergonomic reinforced corporate pumps had an armor rating of 56.8 and 3 mod slots which were all filled. The first one reduces fall damage by 5%, the second one increases movement speed by 23, and the third one increases movement speed by 23 as well. Which I suspect they both increase movement speed by different amounts, but because they both have the same effect, they're being combined for the item. As we can see, the movement speed granted by this item is 23 and not 23 plus 23, which would be 46, which we don't see. Anyway, now on female V, they look like this. They almost look identical to the legendary Fixer shoes that we saw in the legendary Fixer armor video. However, they have the insides. The Fixer ones had the inside section of the shoe completely missing, but these ones are there. And I think I prefer that. They appear to be made out of some kind of sleek leather with silver linings. Overall, they just look smart and fit the corporate look. Now on male V, they look like this, which again, they look identical to the Fixer Armor shoes, which much like female V's shoes, these look exactly like the legendary Fixer shoes that we got in that same video I was just talking about. However, these are of course black to fit the corporate look, just like V's shoes, whereas the Fixer Armor shoes are white and gold. Again, they appear to be made out of a leather with that strange tongue section, which I'm assuming is some kind of flexible, stretchy material so you can slide your foot in with ease. Although nothing in the corporate world should be easy. And finally, we will be getting 2 pairs of the legendary tactical hybrid glass corporate glasses. Both pairs are found in separate locations, unlike the 2 copies of the legendary badge gear we got that were found in the same spot. These are found in different spots, so I'll be showing you both locations of course. Firstly, we'll need to come to the southern corner of the Santo Domingo area, down to the Rancho Coronado East fast travel point, right here on the map. Once here, you are probably going to want to jump in a car as there's a little bit of a trek ahead of us. So we want to jump onto the highway, freeway, expressway, whatever it is that heads south. And then once here, we just take the first road that takes us off the highway or expressway, and then take this first left, which goes up the windy snake road up into the mountains or the highlands. Now on our way up, the second bend will have a billboard at it. We need to stop here because this is where we can find our first pair of these glasses. This is also the billboard that you drive into after Takamura saves you from the tip or the landfill and the Arasaka dudes on the front of the car. Anyway, behind it there is a box with a legendary inside it. Of course, save the game and continue reloading until you get the tactical hybrid glass corporate glasses with 3 mod slots, which of course is the maximum mod slots that a face item can have. Now on the map, we can see the fast travel point we came from is right there. We just drove down the road, up the bendies, and then we stopped at this corner where there is the billboard because that's where the legendary item is. Really easy to get here and find this piece. And for the second pair, we'll need to come all the way down to the bottom of the map to the fuel station fast travel point, right here on the map. Now once here, we can see the fast travel point is over there on the left and the fuel station is right there on the right. We just need to drive south down this road. It's about 600 meters from the fast travel point, so just keep driving south. You'll pass a bunch of billboards, barrels, blah blah blah. Now once you get to this billboard on the left and this overpass thing, just turn to the left about 50 meters afterwards where we'll see a barren piece of land. Now just at the back of the barren piece of land there is a cargo drone which has clearly crashed. Now inside this cargo drone is a dead body with a legendary item. Of course, save the game and then keep on loading until you get another pair of these glasses with 3 mod slots. Now it is found right where my character is standing currently. As we can see, the fast travel point is right there. We just came down the road and then we turned off here and the drone is found exactly where I'm standing. Really easy to find. Now on this particular character and on at least one of the pairs of glasses that I got, my tactical hybrid glass corporate glasses had an armor rating of 39 and 3 mods. The first one increases crit chance by 15%, the second one increases crit damage by 30%, and the third one increases max oxygen by 5. Now those first 2 are absolute crackers, they are legendary mods and I'll only have to replace the last one. Now on female V, they look like this. Kinda sleek, kinda futuristic. They have a kind of like visor sunglasses vibe where they don't have a frame on the bottom or the top and it appears to be one lens the whole way around, and the lens even goes across the bridge of the nose as one solid piece of whatever that is. Well, it's actually hybrid glass, as we know from the title of the item. Overall, don't have too much to say about these. They look like this. I guess they suit the whole corporate look, especially considering we're in the future and in a fictional world. Now on male V, they look like this. They're basically the same thing, but like half as tall. So they're really thin, little weird looking glasses that I don't like very much. They do have some differences. They have a white bit of plastic on the bridge of the nose, and they have different arms as well, which we can see here. Now, I just want to clarify, this hat is not part of the set. I'm just wearing it so my character's hair is more out of the way so that you can see the arms of the glasses. For whatever reason, these type of glasses scream like motocross and not corporate. That could just be me, but I don't like these sunglasses that much. They look like something that you maybe could have bought in a chemist or a service station or gas station, whatever you want to call it, in like the early 90s. Like a $2 pair of sunglasses that you buy for an emergency and you don't care if you lose. And while I don't absolutely love them, I do much prefer these glasses on Female V. And then of course we have the flavor text. If you are ever wondering how to know which legendary pieces match which other ones and are part of a set, every piece of the same set will have the same flavor text. So while the names may not necessarily match, the flavor text will be the same. So for the Corpo set, the flavor text is: all the money ain't worth frack. You play this game for power. The power to get things done, to make the big decisions, to affect things. You make a phone call, and the next thing you know, you're telling the president of some Bush League Euro nation that he'd better play it your way, or his history. Which is a quote from an unidentified corporate. So overall, while there might be some odd things here and there, I think as a whole, this set is really cool. It looks smart, it looks sharp, it looks sleek, it looks mean. I think for Male V, this set as a whole, it kind of looks like you could be in a business meeting, but you could also be out to a really nice dinner, which is cool and has its place, and I like it a lot. But when it comes to Female V, this is like pure corporate. I couldn't imagine, dressing up to go out to a dinner and dressing like what Female V looks like here. She looks like she is here for pure business. A friend of mine, Kat, wears suits like this, and it looks like pure power, just like we see right here in game. On Female V2, the set looks a little bit more futuristic. It's got a few more odd design choices, like the whole thing going on the shoulders and the collar and the collarbone area, the metal on the pads, and of course the screen in the arm with buttons. It's got much more of a futuristic cyberpunk vibe than the set does on Male V. So overall, I really like both. So whether you play a Male V or a Female V, if you're going through a corporate playthrough, this is definitely the set for you. So I do hope that I have been able to help you get your hands on this set of free legendary Corpo armor / clothing for your ever so stylish corporate playthrough. Be sure to let me know if you have also found other cool hidden legendary or iconic items just like this one. Again, be sure to check out my other Cyberpunk 2077 videos. You can find them via the playlist link down in the description. Now down there in the old description, you can also find all of my social media links. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and if you'd like to support my channel in a more personal way, you can become a patron on Patreon, or you can sponsor my channel right here on YouTube. As I'm sure you know, all of my time and energy goes into making these videos that I create for you to enjoy, so your support is most genuinely appreciated and welcomed in any and all forms. So thank you very much for watching, thank you for supporting my channel, and I will see you very shortly in the next video. I'll see you there soon.